Am I the butthole for walking out with my girls when my mother-in-law excluded them from family photo album? I'm 36, mother of 2 girls, 9/5. I met my now fiancé, 38, 2.5 years ago. He's a good man, treats my girls well and loves them. Future mother-in-law is a generous lady, truth be told. His family are respectful and helpful. We visit them a lot. After we got engaged, I pretty much considered this my extended family. However, my mother-in-law tends to do things that either intentionally or unintentionally hurt my feelings. For example, when there's a family dinner at a restaurant, we're not invited. On Christmas, my girls didn't receive anything from her while other kids in the family got gifts and cards. Also, all the kids in the family get a trip once a month, but my girls never participate. Mother-in-law excuses where I forgot. This week, my future mother-in-law was doing family photo album and was gathering family pictures from everyone. Sil and her kids/brother-in-law and his kids and so on. She called and asked if I could send her some pictures. I thought that was nice of her. I sent them pretty much after my call with her ended. We were invited to her house. The entire family was there to look at the photo album because it was complete. We took turns to look at it. And when it was mine and my girl's turn, I was stunned. Turned out she picked the pictures that had just me and her son. Not my girls. Although we took a ton of pictures. My girls were excited, wanting to see the album, and asked why their pictures weren't there. I didn't even want to think about how they'd feel. I was caught off guard, otherwise I wouldn't have let them look at the album. I asked Mill why she excluded my girls and she didn't even reply, she just ignored me. My fiancé stared at me. I felt awful. I got up, took my girls and walked out immediately. Everyone was confused. My fiancé followed us, then we left. At home he told me that I really shouldn't have walked out before dinner and should have just ignored this whole thing because who cares about a stupid photo album? I told him it's a symbol of family. The girls felt left out when all the kids' pictures were there except for the girls, although I sent her pics of 4 of us as a family. He said his mom didn't mean it and promised that this will change once we get married. And said he'll get everyone in line, so I shouldn't even consider this a problem. And that my girls are the light of his life and that's the only thing that matters. And that I was overreacting over a photo album. Mother-in-law called and was upset, saying me walking out like that was disrespectful to the entire family. When I told her about what she did, she bluntly said, I don't want to lie to people, those girls don't relate to me in any way. She said she loves them/treat them well. Will host their birthdays if I want, but she won't call them family. I argued with her over this and I hung up on her since she didn't think she did anything wrong. Was I in the wrong? Did I overreact? Hoo boy. Not the butthole. Pro tip: don't marry this man. Their behavior now won't change once you're married. Nothing will be different. Your girls will be excluded like this by his family forever. If the girls are the light of his life, he wouldn't let his family treat them this way and would have nipped it in the bud the first time they were excluded with gifts. Everyone can spend their money as they see fit, but for someone that should be treating them as grandchildren should be fairer. Or else she doesn't get to be in their lives. If they get married, guaranteed she regrets it, unless he has an epiphany before the wedding. Seriously, what is this old bag's problem? I remember going to a friend's grandparents' house for Christmas one year. I wasn't an expected guest, but they still treated me like family. She even found a book of McDonald's coupons and put them in an envelope as a present for me so I would have something to open. This was in the mid-90s when those were still a thing. At the time I thought it was a bit odd, but looking back, I realize it was her doing something last minute to make sure I wasn't left out. And I had exactly zero relation to her. This crazy lady can't even be bothered to get gifts for her future grandkids? All my WTF. My mom would always buy a couple boxes of C's mixed chocolate just in case anyone unexpected showed up with a gift. If no one did, we ate the leftovers on New Year's. Your mom is amazing. I love C's chocolates. So sad I didn't dare check the mall for their stall this year because of COVID, and that would be such a perfect gift. You can order C's online. Even custom packed boxes like you can do in the stores. Oh, I know you can, but I daren't, because I'd be bankrupt and the size of a small hippo in short order. Laughing out loud. So mentioning that they've got the amazing Black Forest truffles, dark chocolate and cherry, and the Rocky Road footballs available for just right now wouldn't be helpful at all. Cool, I won't bring it up. Do I need to try C's chocolate? Absolutely. Note, this is deliberately not a reference to anyone's size, but more that hippos are Christmas AF. Thank you, Frank. I now have I want a hippopotamus for Christmas as an earworm. I miss C's so much. I moved to the UK and they don't ship here sobs. I know. Win/win, am I right? C's are awesome. My sister likes the orange creams, so a couple of years I just sent her a box of 100% orange creams. I don't know this brand, but you had me at 100% orange creams. C's candy, you can order online, and there's a custom mix option where you can fill your box with up to 10 of your favorite candies. Don't like nougat? Leave them out. Only want orange creams? You can order a box that has nothing but orange creams. The candy is really fresh, too. Once you try them, any other chocolate bonbons pale in comparison. I used to get a discount through my old company, and I'd order 5-pound boxes for my sister, because she hosted my parents for 3 weeks over Christmas. I googled them because I'd never heard of them, and the second link that came up was Chocolate Willies. Web link. As long as I can remember, my mom has also always bought extra presents. They will be wrapped under the Christmas tree but with no tag on them. And if one of us, lots of siblings and family, ask who it's for, her answer is always in case we have an unexpected guest for Christmas. She is the kindest and most selfless woman I know. My mom was the same. One of us kids invariably had a friend staying with us or coming over because they were alone or had family issues, and she always made sure even last-minute arrivals felt included and loved. Not the butthole op. Your future Mill is a jerk. My ma taught me the exact same thing, and it's the best Christmas tip I've ever got. Second best tip from her was that all of your extra presents should be something you want, because if there are no extra guests then you should enjoy the leftovers. Ma may be a kind-hearted lady, but she's not a silly one. That's how a real mother behaves, with warmth and kindness. Please listen to this comment. As someone who grew up in a family dynamic similar to this, the hurt your future mother-in-law is inflicting upon your children will be unpacked years later, and they will have resentment towards her and the parent who let it happen to them. Throw the whole fiancé away. There is someone out there who will truly love those children like his own and will make sure, from day one, that his family loves them just as much. The one you have right now is rotten fruit. Co-signing this. My half-brother got everything, me and my full siblings never got a single present. I had to cut contact with my half-brother because he's become as big a butthole as his dad. I hardly ever talk to my mom. Not worth it. This is the path ops girls are on. Good for original poster to put up the roadblock now before it gets worse. Jumping on the top comment in hopes original poster will see this. I was your daughters. I had step-grandparents and 8 step-on/uncles plus their families who treated my mother and I like this for over a decade. It was made clear time and time again that we weren't real family, and I wasn't a real grandchild because I wasn't my ex-stepfather's biological child. This behavior won't change. Marriage won't change a thing. Your fiancé will not whip his family into shape. In fact, he has shown you already that he will take his mother's side and continually excuse her behavior. Your future Mill's behavior is deliberate and will continue to get worse. Please think long and hard about whether or not this is what you want to subject your daughters to. NTA. Really reconsider if you should marry this man. When you marry someone, you often marry their family too. Is this what you want for your girls? Marriage rarely solves pre-existing problems. Often problems get magnified once you get married. Your daughters are your priority and this will hurt them a lot. If your fiancé can't stand up for you and your daughter, then you really need to reconsider this marriage. Not the butthole, but your fiancé will not have your back, and the treatment your daughters are getting now will only continue. I was in your daughter's shoes when I was a kid and my dad was getting remarried, and thankfully we were accepted into the family events, photos, etc. by the time my dad was engaged to my stepmom. I agree getting married should be the time he gets everyone in line. Now is the time for that. If he can't stick up for you and your girls being called family now, it's not going to change later. He should be fighting for his future stepkids to be accepted into his family because he is their family. I don't understand how people can't view stepkids as family, what horribly close-minded they are. Yeah, She shouldn't marry him on the promise of getting everyone in line, he should actually do it to show that he can.
Exactly.
Dating and engagements are like test drives of a marriage. Who in their right mind waits to sign a marriage certificate to, hopefully, finally get treated with respect?
Pass on that crap.
Original poster and the kids deserve much better. I'm so happy it worked out for you and your stepmom and her family accepted you as they should have. My aunt married a man with 2 kids and growing up I always knew they were specifically not related. It was gross how they were treated differently. As an adult I became very ashamed of my grandparents and all the aunts and uncles, even my parents, for how these kids were excluded. They were several years older than me and just toddlers when their dad married my aunt. I'm most upset with their dad, they are his kids and he allowed them to be ignored. Recently my mom said, "Do you think if the kids were treated like all the others they would have had better lives as adults?" Both have issues with drugs and crime, and I point blank told her, yes, being treated like worthy people as kids probably would have been a whole lot better for them. Good for you, original poster. Stick up for your kids. They don't need to be told the rest of their lives that they are outsiders. Not the butthole.
What was your mom's reaction when you said that? Do you reckon your parents or anyone else in the family feels guilty about it now, or do they not really care?
I'm dealing with this with my stepmom now. She's been in my life since I was 13, I'm now 39, and she is mom to my 2 younger siblings whom I love and consider as full siblings. SM has always made a distinction in the family, in very subtle ways, that her stepchildren aren't really her children. It should have come as no surprise that my children don't matter for crap since my younger sister had a kid last year, SM's first bio grandkid. Little sis and I had baby boys within 2 months of each other. My son has been virtually ignored, even a new family dog got recognition on Facebook when my son didn't. I was hurt about the disparity for a long time. Especially because my dad falls into line with her.
Right now, I feel like I don't care. But when we can someday all gather as family again, I will be on high alert to see how my children are treated in comparison. Sucks.
Oh, you know what she needs? Long grateful Facebook posts of your dad for being a single father for so long, huge showy gifts for Father's Day, a card for Mother's Day, etc. NTA, I get in certain areas there may be some differentiation, inheritance, you shouldn't purposefully exclude step relatives from family events, the stepdad needs to step up. My brother and I lucked out too, we were immediately accepted into the family. We were treated the same as our new, half-brother. My brothers, our, cousins, and I received the same gifts at family celebrations. Family is what you make it.
NTA.
The real issue here is your fiancé's lack of a spine to stand up to his mother. That will probably never change, so you're walking into this coming marriage with your eyes wide open. If you marry this man, this will be your constant reality. Your daughters will continue to get ignored, and you will be pushed out of events. Cut your losses and flee this toxic relationship. There's an old saying over on /r/just normal, it's easier to dump a mama's boy than to divorce a mama's boy, and both of those are easier than trying to change a mama's boy.
Web link. Reddit link.
This is gold.
Amen.
Not the butthole. The next time mama calls, put her on speakerphone with your husband around.
Wait for him to stand up for your girls.
Don't teach your girls that it's okay for them to be excluded, or quieted, or put in the background.
They matter. Prove it to them. Ding. Thanks, man. NTA.
Your priority is your daughters, and it is your obligation as their mother to stand by and up for them and protect them from anybody who is hurting them, physically or emotionally. It's exceptionally cruel to exclude children so young from gifts, trips, etc. Your fiancé needs to speak to his mother because it's unfair to subject you and your children to that treatment the rest of your lives.
You're either family or not.
Yes, absolutely, they are my priority and I can't let this treatment continue. Honestly, all my fiancé does is talk and make promises. Reality is something else. He doesn't take any action about it. He'd either say I'm overreacting or to just ignore his mother. Is that something you're willing to live with the rest of your life? He's not sticking up for you and including your daughters in his family.
Time to ask yourself if he's really suited for you and your girls.
He's a grown-ass man who isn't willing to have a conversation with his mother about how she's making the woman he loves feel.
You will always take a back seat to her.
Be mindful of this too. How you allow people to treat you sets the tone for how your girls will allow people to treat them. If I had to say, fiancé is more of a problem than his mother. And just think, if they have joint children, her current two will really have the fact that no one considers them family drummed into them as their sibling is fawned over. That was all I could think about as I was reading this. Any children they have together will be the center of attention and treated so much better than her first two. Those kids are going to be further pushed to the side once real family is born. Can you imagine? Original poster, you need to protect them now.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is your man.
Edit, not the butthole.
Absolutely.
This is what happened in my family. My brother could do no wrong and they treated him like the golden child while I was always pushed aside and ignored. It definitely messed with me as a kid. I hope that doesn't happen to these little girls. No child deserves to feel unwanted and like they aren't part of the family.
Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos.
If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends.
We welcome your comments below.
Press to start another of our videos.